Greetings, everyone, and welcome to day 7 of our challenge that we're having this year. And it's the TimeBlazr challenge, the personalized calendar to help you successfully do launches, schedule your important appointments, sign contracts, and it's not just about finding a good day to benefit you, it's also making sure you're avoiding the days that could actually put you 10 steps back. Hi, my name is Kathleen Horvath-Zemansky. I'm a business feng shui master, astrologer, and the creator of the TimeBlazr business management system. So we're doing a very short challenge this year. This is such a busy time for everyone, but yet business goes on, life goes on. So having good days and times to slot things in. Hi, Brianna. Thanks for showing up today. So what we're going to be doing today is I'm just going to do a real brief walkthrough of the high-end Twinette. I am going to do a brief walkthrough of the software, tell you about the contest rules, and then there's some questions. So I'll even answer live questions if you want to go ahead and put those in the chat right now. And then if you are going to listen to it on the replay, of course we will weave back and try to get those questions answered for you as well. And Antoinette already knows the rules of the game. So I'm going to start there with that next slide. So as I said, the TimeBlazr is about doing your launches, your important appointments, just scheduled the TimeBlazr way versus just choosing any random day. Choose one that's going to benefit you, of course. Then we are going to have you sign up for the 30-day either TimeBlazr trial, but to actually win the be able to win the challenge, then you also have to purchase the software. We would love for you to have one project, so go ahead and put in the chat right now what is the project that you're going to be launching in June or maximum July, so that we can make sure that your services are seen and visible by your tribe, as well as maybe some new people as well. So go ahead and tell me what you are going to be working on, and then we're going to have you subscribe to not only this channel, our new TimeBlazr channel. We're just starting to build that, so all of those links are going to be in the description below. And then we're in our last 2 days, today and tomorrow, and we broadcast between 3:30 until we finish up. And so it's been anywhere from a half hour to about an hour. So that's where we're going to be hanging out for the next hour. And like I said, we're going to have one hot seat available. So this is for a business plan that Antoinette is going to be doing. That's great. Brianna is going to be working on a real estate education business. Great. And the winner is going to be announced tomorrow. So you got to make sure you're going to be here to hear that. So you needed to be here at the challenge. That first day, it was the first or second day. There was one day we're going to give everyone a pass. So, and that is because we misscheduled the timeout. So we're not going to penalize you for that, but we're going to keep track, and we're going to announce the winner at the end of tomorrow's session. And I'll tell you how we're going to play tomorrow, because it's a very vibrant day tomorrow to really get some nice things done and off of our plates, right? Okay, then here are the exact rules. You must have purchased a year of the TimeBlazr or be a current member, and it has to expire at 12/31 or after. And then you're going to be here every day for the challenge. And just like Antoinette said, we need you to put in the chat right now, challenge accepted with your name. And then also head on over to subscribe to the TimeBlazr channel. So again, we're trying to build that channel, and we would love your help. We would also love for you to comment on our channel. So every time that you do come in, that sure helps us. As you know, if you're doing the YouTube or social media, social proof, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Thumbs up and things like that. If you want to get more details on the challenge, just go to bit.ly/TB challenge 2022. Okay. 22 only. just grab that URL. It's in the description. Okay, so and then our next slide, what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the TimeBlazr. So we're in the month of June. We started this challenge on the 14th. We're going to finish it up tomorrow. And so what I wanted to just kind of just remind you of are some of the features and how I, use the TimeBlazr day in and day out. Now, truthfully, what I do, and I encourage you to do as well, any successful CEO is going to tell you that if they can have control over their calendar versus their calendar controlling them, that's already a recipe for success. And that does take planning. It does take clarity. It does take your discipline to follow through. So when you're making these commitments to yourself about calendaring, I want you to really ask yourself, and especially if you're giving away an important appointment on an important time slot, are you really honoring your time as much as you say that you are? So you want people to honor you, but you have to also honor yourself. So that means also, which I can be guilty of myself, because I have so many great ideas that I want to share with people and coursework, and I mean, I could go on and on and on, but when it gets to the point where you get nothing done, then that's when you should start questioning, what do you need to modify about how you are putting things into your calendar. So I did a pretty long training on Friday of last week. You may want to go back to Friday on how I plan out my calendar, and that might help give you some tips on how to be a little bit more productive. And that's really kind of looking at what you didn't complete but may have forgotten about and could have been an important appointment, and then bringing that forward. So that's something that you want to be considering when you're using the TimeBlazr. All right. So again, I look at my calendar, the night before. So, let's look at this calendar on like what's even left for us to even play with. So we're looking in the day view. I am going to go through just a little bit of the day today, because this is a good day for, between the 3 and 7 o'clock time slot. I realize for some of you, it may already be the next day because you're calling in from Europe and you're probably already just at the, closing down for the day for sure. And then some of you are very early in the morning, depending on where you're located in the world. And again, why don't you, for those who are listening, why don't you let me know where you're coming in from? That would be helpful for me as well. Okay, but what I want you to understand is that, not every day is a good day. Like, for example, the 22nd isn't that great of a day because it is an unfavorable day. Yes, it's an established day, but there's a lot of unsettling energy that is here throughout the day. But that doesn't mean you can't use the day. What I really would encourage you to do is start going over and start getting yourself familiar with these terms, and then head over to the training tab. I've talked about that as well, and go into the guidebook to get more in-depth understanding of the terms if you need it. But I did try to name these one words that it would give you a very good idea of what they meant. But if English is not your first language, I do understand that you may need a little bit extra support with the training, or you just really want to know a little bit more. So then head over to the training tab. All right. So every day I look at like, what am I trying to accomplish in the day? You could use the daily goal intentions that way, or you could say, all right, I'm going to be looking at the very next day on how I'm going to play it out, and then write it down. And then when the day comes, then you will be able to go, oh, okay, these are the things that I'm going to be doing. Well, tomorrow is a beautiful day, as you can see. It's a fair remove day. It's a fire goat. We're in the fire season. So, whatever fire is to you. You can find that out by going over to your business astrology. Now, if I'm moving kind of fast for some of you, it's because I've talked about all of these things already, and they're in the past recordings. So if you've missed any of these, like when I'm talking about the astrology, I talked extensively about that on Monday, for example. So go back and listen to Monday's recording about the astrology. But I did say we're in the fire season, as in elemental fire season, although there's a lot of fires happening around the world. What is fire to you? And you can find that out clearly by going to this little ring that is directly below your natal chart, and you will see all of the 5 elements. And this is the yin and yang of all of the 5 elements. So when you are, any of the elements, whenever that would come up in the TimeBlazr, if you want to know, oh, do I even want to bring that about? That would take it to the next layer for you, if you will. But anyway, it's a beautiful day. Now, yours is going to be programmed a little bit different than this one because every TimeBlazr is personalized. So you may not see 5 stars. You may see 1 or 2 stars, maybe no stars. You may not see icons. This person doesn't have an activator or a manifest 4 on this day, but it's still, thanks for that thumbs up, it's still a great day that you want to think ahead. And this is where I'm saying, okay, it's June 22nd right now. We do have a couple of good time slots that I can be making some pretty interesting leeway as far as content creation and things like that. There's plenty that a business owner can do on a day because we're not launching every single day. There are some times where we're going to need to create content. We're going to need to do some customer care. No matter how big your staff is, you still have to keep a pulse of what's going on in your business. So this might be a day for those types of tasks. And then how are you going to plan out the next day? Now, we talked about we're going to be in this time slot tomorrow. And even though this person has a 3-star for their TimeBlazr, you may not have any stars at all, but this time slot is still good. Now, here's an FAQ that I want to address right now. That is, because this is FAQ day, your TimeBlazr is going to go wherever your body is located. In other words, for some of you who do not live in it's right now, it's 3:44 p.m. Eastern. What time is it for you? And then just say, is it AM or PM, so I know. Because that's going to help me understand and explain to you what I'm trying to say here. All right, so I'll wait for those answers to come through, but what I'd like to impress upon you is we are going to be broadcasting between 3 and 4, but what time is it going to be for you? And you're going to have to look on your TimeBlazr to see what's happening, if you will, but it's still a removed day. So you still can, really take a good opportunity to use this day to the fullest. So, Brianna, PM Eastern time. So you're in Eastern, so it's the same for you. So for Antoinette, it's 21:45. So it's 9 o'clock at night. So she's going to have to be looking at this time slot. And it's still good because it's still a nice green area. But this is what I would suggest that you do. Tomorrow, come with a project that you're going to be working on in real time, and you're going to tell me what it is. And if you're brave enough, you can even take a photo or a screenshot. What I'd like you to do is get one project off your desk. And I want you to think right now, what small project that might take 20 minutes, if you really put your mind to it, it's going to take 20 minutes to a half an hour to complete. That might be that pesky email. That might be, It might be just finishing an outline so you can take the next step of writing out a funnel or a ebook or a full manuscript. It's just those little unfinished business that can be more of an anchor, and the longer you wait, the heavier the anchor gets. There's a great book by Brian Tracy called Eat That Frog. I don't know if you've ever heard of it or not, but the premise of this book, highly recommend you buying the book, but the premise of the book is looking at whatever that project is, or that to-do list item, that task item that literally you don't want to do it, you're procrastinating about it. But according to Brian Tracy's theory of eat that frog, eat the frog as early in the morning as you can, because as the day progresses, that frog starts getting smelly and stinky, and just kind of like disintegrating. It's not a pretty picture. So the longer you wait to eat that frog, the nastier it's going to be. So this is what we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to eat that frog and get something off of our plate. So and if you don't have anything, you might go, okay, well, maybe I'll spend 20 minutes to a half hour working on cleaning up some digital photos, or maybe cleaning up some email, just getting rid of emails that are just clogging up your email box at this point. So something like that. I want you to feel the real success of what a remove day can do. So this is hands-on, how we're going to be using, and you will be surprised if you really come to play. You will be surprised how efficiently you will work. Okay, so we're going to do that tomorrow. So that could be something that you put on your goal and intention right now, is find that 20 to 30 minute project that for once and for all you're going to get off your plate. Is it some financial thing, some banking? Is there a phone call that you need to do? You can always just put us on mute and make that phone call and get it off your plate. So this is what we really want you to be doing. Okay, all right, so that is going to be about tomorrow. And then this is the day that we're going to also be announcing our winner. So we're going to have lots of fun with that tomorrow for sure. All right, so let me get back to the month view. I just want you to always remember that there are a lot of filters that you can use to help you make your informed decisions, because now that you have this personalized system, it will help you to make those decisions. You can either put in these icons, you can take them out by hitting this none bar, and this will take out, but you can always put them back in the way you want to actually filter things. So then you hit the selected, and then they will show up. These will show up on every month view that you have selected, but once you go over to the day view, and I'll show you that right now. For example, if we would go into, we just selected these three icons and they show up here, but if we go to the 24th, and I haven't filtered this, there may be other ones in there because, oops, thank you, my lovely assistant is telling me I'm not even sharing my screen. So let's do that. Okay, so we talked about, I had all of the icons. I'm going to just put them all back. I'm going to take them off, or you can deselect the ones that you don't want, but I'm just going to throw in 3 different ones, just these top 3 right now, just for demonstration purposes. And then you hit selected. Then these are going to show up on every single month, the ones that you selected. Now, obviously, all 3 of them are not going to show up because not every day is equal. But I also wanted to let you know that by default, whatever is in the day view, it's going to pull them all over. So let's see what this has. Yeah, it has many other ones as well. So I just wanted to let you know that there are going to be on the month view and day view, there are a little bit different But this will help with your planning. Don't forget about the searches that you can do. You can do the 5 structures, what I showed you on your astrology chart just now. You can actually filter each and every one of these days. I'll show you some of this while we're doing some of the FAQs as well. And then also these activators, you can filter all of these. We went over the manifest 4 yesterday. That's the more meditation, law of attraction that we can do. All right, so let's move on. I just also wanted to let you, let's go. Actually, I want to go to this annual chart. I'm not sure why that is so small on my screen. I'm going to go to the annual chart right now because we talked about it yesterday, because someone had said that they were a fire monkey, and I just wanted you to see the annual chart. This is from my annual event where we talked about the birth chart of the year. And this was February the 4th, 2022. And then it was during the Tiger Hour. I can't remember exactly what time it was, but I think it was 5:43. It doesn't really matter. It was during the Tiger Hour between 5 to 6. But what I wanted to demonstrate for you monkeys out there are 3 tigers just trying to duke it out with you. And sometimes it's going to feel like the tigers are winning. So here's where I want you to really rely on the TimeBlazr and know that, when you put your best foot forward, that's really all that anyone can ask of you. So there are going to be, and I have a monkey in my chart. I actually have a fire monkey in my chart. So I'm really feeling that, what we call that heaven and earth clash, where there's water on the top putting out the fire, and then the monkey is definitely getting a workout by trying to chop all of the wood of the tiger, because that's what metal does. Its sole purpose is to make sure that all the wood in the chart is nicely pruned. Well, guess what? Here's something that I want you also to be very aware of, is there is 0, 0, 0, 0 metal in the annual chart. So when you look at your chart, which is probably different because none of you were born on this day, that are listening to me, excuse me. So what is metal to you? That's going to be a little bit deficient this year because there's no universal support when it comes to that annual chart. Okay? All right. If you want to listen to more about what Alice can put a replay link there if you'd like to purchase that replay. It's very valid for you to think about that right now, because we still have 6 months left in the calendar year, the Western calendar year, and moving into the half-year mark for the Chinese year, which transits in February, not in January. All right, so I'm going to go on to some of the questions that were submitted by you. So for business, what is the most important pillar? So the most important pillar, I'm just going to use the TimeBlazr chart for this because I'm going to be talking about probably a lot of, hold on, I need to get over, hold on. Okay, for some reason I have 2 screens up. Okay, so what I want to tell you about is that the most important pillar, they're all important, right? But it's probably worth letting you know about what all of these pillars mean. And I talk about these a lot, and they are important to know. So, and I talk from a business perspective. Obviously, all of these pillars are going to have a personal health attributes, but we're talking business here. So the year of birth mostly, and you'll see why I'll put in a couple of the innuendos for this. The year of birth is about your brand and your reputation. So if you have a website, if you have a list, if you do any type of networking for business, this is a very important pillar. So the people that you meet in networking meetings, the people that will help elevate your business, it's found in your year of birth. So you could look at it from just a pure natal perspective, or you could look at how does the animal in your year of birth play well or not with the annual energies. Speaking this year, it would be with the water tiger. And when we're looking at when we say the annual energies, we really start reducing it down to that year pillar. I mean, it all obviously is important, but we're going to just say the year of the water tiger at this point for 2022. Your month pillar is about your career, what you're best suited at doing. So this is actually the work and how you work with either your colleagues if you're employed, your superiors if you're employed, or if you are in a managerial position, then how well do your subordinates work with you? But if you own your business, then this is about what skill sets will, for the career that you've chosen, whatever it is, this pillar will tell you what you are best suited at doing. Okay, so even for example, I don't want to get into like an astrology reading per se, but this person is yin water, so we're already seeing that this person is sensitive. There's a goat there, so we have some earth, we have some fire, and we have some wood, and these are all the what's called hidden elements. These hidden elements are your true treasures that if you could bring those forth. So a goat is very nurturing. So this is somebody who would be very good in either as a coach, a nurse, something in the wellness sector, anything that you're taking care of people is what a goat is going to be very good at. Then there's wood. This is good about connection. This could be teaching. It could be writing. And then it is there's fire here. So this is a bit about charisma. It's a bit about marketing, but it's also helping people from behind the scenes. Why? Because it's below this line, and so the fire is below. So anyway, this one is very important as well. I also look at the month for your character. So there might be a character change because of the annual energies. So for this person, for example, last year was the year of the ox. So this person could have had a change in character, change in jobs, just because of this particular clash. So again, we're not going to go too much into an in-depth astrology, but that's how you would start looking at this particular energy. The day of birth is about you and your personal growth and your health. If you're not healthy, then how could you do your business? Then your hour of birth, which I realize many of you or some of you may not know, either because of adoption, it wasn't recorded, don't remember, your parents may have passed, so you may not know this, but you already know 75% of your chart. But the hour of birth, if you know it, is quite important when it comes to career, because it is about achieving your goals. This is the legacy pillar, as in what are you going to be known for once you have stopped doing your business? Are you going to sell your business to somebody? Are you going to just take your life's work and shut it down? So, if you're of a certain age, and I'm going to say anyone over the age of 50 at the very least, what is your exit plan? As in, how can you build your business up to the point where it is of some monetary value that it will be attractive to a buyer when you're ready to sell? Okay, this is also about your investments. So it's not about just how much money you make, but it's also about how much you have accumulated over your life. It could be through bonuses, truthfully, even lotteries, inheritances, things like that. So, it's all your money and how you choose to use it. So I'm going to give you a little bonus here as well. So look for your wealth element, and again, look in the 5 structures. If you don't know already by heart what yours is, I would know that because, well, it's the compelling reason I want you to know this is you should always know what your wealth element is. So it's very easy to find, and it would be right under your natal chart again. See if that wealth element is in your hour of birth, top or bottom, I don't really care, but this is something that you really want to know about. If you've got your wealth here, I'm actually happy to see that. And if you don't worry about it. You may not even have any wealth in your chart. That was an FAQ. We're going to get to that in just a second. But you can also come down here to your destiny cycles and see where you've got your element, whatever your wealth element is, and see if it shows up top or bottom. Even if it's just a little bit, that means you have more potential of using or obtaining wealth during that time. It's not a guarantee, because it means you need to do something about it, right? It's not just because the wealth shows up or is appearing. How are you going to access it? Well, that means you're going to have to either have a good product or service, and you have a clientele that wants to buy the product service that you're selling. So it is an indication that it's available to you. So if it's coming or if you're in it, hopefully you're also working towards having a good product or service to help you along the way. All right, so here, let's see, I think we answered for business, we just answered that. So as you see, that one is, all 4 of your pillars are important for business. But if I had to bring it down to one, it's your month. What do you do that you're best suited at, that you love, that you can make money at? That is indicated in your month. All right, our next one is by Brianna, who is here today. Not sure if this is a consultation question, but any insight on metal as a wealth element? So we just talked about, Brianna, the concept of what metal is as far as the annual, but metal in itself, I guess I probably should talk about all 5 of the elements if I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go back to the natal chart again. I'm going to go back to the TimeBlazr natal chart again. And let's just look at the 5 structures again, because all 5 of the elements are here. All right. So, and don't look at the titles, just look at the elements here. So, and I'm going to start with metal because this is what was asked. So metal is, from an element perspective, and I'm not going to divide them between yin and yang, because this isn't really about an astrology class, but it is very important. But the metal in and itself is about systems. It is about your voice, if you will. It is about making decisions. So it is the element that is more judicial. It decides right from wrong. And when you think about it, the yang metal is like a sword, and it will cut through things that no longer is serving, and it wants to find justice. And justice sometimes is not easy, because it is the hardest element of all of the 5 elements. It is only accessible if we blast it out of the earth. So it's a hard element to get access to, but once it is out, then, how well can you use it? Okay. So for someone who has metal as their wealth element, Be sure you are able to make clear and decisive decisions about your money. Okay? All right, wood. Wood is about growth, connections, teaching. Well, I should have gone to water first, but I talked about wood, so I'll go back to water in just a second. Let me just stay on wood at this moment. So wood is about creativity, but it can be, you can get, if you will, a little bit of like overwhelm, if you will, because especially when we're talking about more of too many trees in a forest or too many vines, and it can be smothering, if you will. So you just need to make sure that you're making right connections, and the help of metal to prune that back a little bit would be definitely good. But as a wealth element, it is about growth and connections. Where can you find connections to help you along the way? Let me go back to water. Water is about communication, research, going very, very, very deep. So, finding a way to make your connections through deep research would be a good way you can use water. Fire is very tricky. Fire can spread like, quote unquote, wildfire. So it can spread very quickly, and fire is very visible. Fire is considered the happiness element. So getting in front of a stage, getting in front of people, if you've got only your fire that is, as I said, below this line, then how can you help people from behind the scenes? And that can make you money. But fire people do very much need to watch for burnout, because once the fire is out or is extinguished, it's hard to get it reignited. So we really need to make sure that your health, especially, you don't burn yourself out. So fire people are go, 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 go. I'm a fire person, by the way, so I'm kind of making fun of myself right now. But you definitely have to watch for burnout. Now, earth is the one that is probably the slowest to grow. I mean, when you think about mountains and it took centuries and millions of years to create those mountains, and they're not going anywhere. So they are slow to move. But these are the people that are very good at investing in real estate or anything to do with real estate, if you will. And it is also very good for assets like antiques, artwork, value, things of great value. So there you go about whether you are one of those 5 elements, even if you're beyond the metal one. Okay, let's see. All right, someone asked, how can you use the best days according to your animal? I think this was from Antoinette, but I'm not actually sure. And when do you use yin and yang? All right, I'm going to go back to the TimeBlazr again. So how I can say how to best use these animals. One of the things that I would do if I were you is really start just understanding, one, what these pillars mean, first and foremost. That would be one thing. And then I would be looking at your current luck cycle to see if there was anything in that current luck cycle that was creating some problems. So we already know, you don't know this yet, but I can tell you how to find this, that the rabbit and dragon already have a little bit of an issue because, this is an energetics that, when you put these two animals together, there is a bit of tension, if you will, between them. So what you want to start thinking about then is, maybe I need to start looking at protecting those animals that are in my chart, or have different separations between them, because the the dragon and the rabbit is a harm, and this one is a hard one. A harm is saying that you don't really see something coming. So between your day of birth and your hour of birth, try to have as much division between them, because this can create, so this, remember I told you, was about your goals, your dreams and aspirations. This is also about your life purpose, your investments, and then this is your personal. So as much to your ability, try to keep those separate, but do know that probably someone you know it may create a situation where you're going to feel hurt feelings, if you will. Now we've got this person going through a current luck cycle until they turn 42. So here's the second rabbit that is going to have an issue with the dragon. But then you would look at, the tiger. Is there anything in this chart that is saying, we have to pay attention as well? Well, for the year of the tiger, one of the first things I can tell you is that the tiger and the horse get along actually very well. So it's part of a 3 harmony, and we're just missing the dog there. That gets a little bit out of the scope of what we're trying to say here, but I'm just saying that there's sometimes animals are going to be conflicting, sometimes they are going to be a little bit more in community with each other, and then you use the ones that are more favorable. So for this year, this person would be really smart to build her networks. I'm not saying ignore your finances, but I am saying that maybe that's not something that you're going to focus as strongly as building the right people in your networks, okay? And then these 2 animals are a bit neutral to, actually all 3 of these are a bit neutral to the year of the water tiger. So that's how I would be using them. I would look to see, what is in. So I've had a lot of people ask me this, and please just let me know if this is something of interest to you that may not happen this year, but I am planning on doing an astrology training as well, to get into more of the intricacies of all the 60 pillars and things like that. So let me know if you're interested in that. We'll see what we can put together for you. We'll put a nice program together for you. Okay, so there's one. Let's see. And then how do you use the yin and yang? So I'm going to go over to these archetypes for right now. And really what you're going to want to do is, as you can see, it's taking this water, which is the yin and yang of all of your animals, and then it will, maybe earth is a little bit better because you do see yin and yang here. So you see yang earth, yin earth, and so this is where you can, if you don't know the color coding, just look at the key to the left right next to the 5 structures, and it will tell you what they are. Now, when you go over to the archetypes, the 10 archetypes, there's 10 different ones, and they will start telling you things that will help you along the way. Now, we are looking at the yin and yang of your chart. So some of you, again, may not even have all of the 5 structures filled up. There might be 1 box or 2 that might be empty. So when you come over here, these will be empty too, because you don't have that element in your natal chart, okay? But if you do, then you start looking over here on what they mean. All right, well, let's start with the wealth. The first thing I can tell you is this person is more entrepreneurial than working for somebody else, but you need to look at your chart to see what it is and what element it is. And then, so the entrepreneurial is, most people who follow me are more entrepreneurial. And then if you're working for somebody else, that's this one below. And it may be yin to you versus yang. I'm just talking yin and yang right now, not element. But it depends on your birth chart on how these are going to play out. Okay, so power is just that. One is more like a true, just I'm going to say conventional classic leader. And then this one is still a leader, but more maverick. I use this, I can't remember if it was in one of my masterminds or something, but I talked about the difference between, like the war in Ukraine, for example. I'm saying that Zelensky is more maverick. He's more modern. He's more like, he's going to do what it takes to win that over there. So if this was his chart, he'd be like much better doing the tactics that he's doing. But if he was doing more traditional things, because he's doing things like social media, like have you ever in your life heard of anyone who has gotten on every international platform and talk to heads of states via, like, who does that and publicly broadcast them? I was just totally amazed by that. Using cryptocurrency that's a maverick leader. Okay, all right. Resources are people that want to help you. Some are, the pioneer one are like, again, it's just being a little bit more aggressive, if you will, about getting that support, as in you may need to ask for it, or it's unconventional help, as in you don't even know the person and yet they want to help you. So that's what that is. And then the regular is you probably know the people, the support system, you probably know them and they're willing to help you, but it might be a matter on both that you need to ask for the help. But that's what resources are. Resources help you be strong. And so we like to have resource in your chart, because otherwise, if you are one of those people that have very little resource or no resource, you're the people that probably complain the most about, I have to do this all alone. I always feel alone. I don't have a support system. Well, you probably don't if this is really low. Now, if it's full, like it is here on this chart where this earth is full, and you are not getting the support you need, I would look a little bit into, are you actually turning down help? I can tell you for a fact, I have had people hire me, so I'm a resource at this point because I'm consulting them. They get what they want, either through knowledge in their chart or we're adjusting their space, and then it actually comes forth, and then they say, oh, you know what, I'm not really ready for that right now, and they push it away. Or even things like, can I help you? No, I can do it. You are pushing your help away. Build your resources, don't repel them. Okay? All right. And then let's look at the networks. Networks is going to be more about your, either on the inside, this is going to be allies. And then this below is going to be competitors. Allies are just true people who are going to be on your tribe. They really want to help you. They buy your products and services. They refer you. These are like, it's easy peasy for you. Whereas the competitors, by the way, I attended a networking group a little earlier today, and there were actually, which doesn't happen too often, there were two other feng shui, I'm not sure if they would consider themselves master level, but I'm going to say feng shui masters. There were two other ones, which rarely happens, actually. Rarely happens. Both of them do not do what I do, nor do I do what they do. I could, but I choose not to. They're competitors, but with some very savvy conversations, I can turn them into allies if I decide that their relationship's worth developing. And I have done this over the course of my career. So don't be upset that yours is full of competitors. Use your competitors to help build your business. Do something in such a unique way that they're going, I can't do that here, and then be reciprocal as far as, helping them as well. May not be through clients, but who knows? Find out what they need that they would feel good about turning over that list to you. All right. And then the last one is creation. So when we look over here, this is what you create. So, you know, traditionally, when you're not looking at this from a business perspective, these are your babies. So if and you may, even though this may be blank, your creation may be blank, most likely your whatever your element is showed up during your current luck cycle, or it was the year of whatever element it was, and that produced a child. But it's not always about children either. All of these things mean multiple things. Again, we're here from a business perspective. So this really is more about your products and services that you produce. One is a little bit more strategic, and one kind of goes more with core strength and value and things like that. So that's how you use the 10 archetypes. So this is where it can help you. In I guess one of the easiest ways I can describe this to you is look at your wealth element right now. And if you are entrepreneurial, do you have more percentage in your entrepreneurial side or more on your wealth generator side? Or is it about equal? What is it for you? Can you put that in the chat for me right now? Let's have a little discussion about that. That could be helpful for you to understand. Entrepreneur, 77%. So hopefully you are not working for somebody else because that would be a shame, because you are more entrepreneurial, more free flowing of that. So that is pretty important. Now, with that said, this might be a little bit more of a brainstorming year, getting things really ready for this upcoming year, because remember, there was 0 metal in the annual chart. So you're going to just have, it's not going to say that you're not making money this year. It's all about you making money. There's no universal support because there's no metal in the chart. But good job on that. Okay. All right. So 43.35. So on Antoinette's chart, what that is saying, basically, she could go either way. And where that's important is maybe times like this when business is down. She could actually go and work, we all could, or have a side gig. Very important in this economy, you guys. Side gigs. It really is something I want you to be considering. But if your P&L is starting to bother you a little bit and you need to get a side gig job, go ahead and do that. So, but even long term, Antoinette is the type of person that could be happily employed by somebody else or happily be an entrepreneur. Now, happily, that might not be the best term. She could go either way and make money. And sometimes making money where, yeah, there you go. So being an independent contractor is where, again, most of my clientele shows up at, but not 100%, because sometimes people come for me just for feng shui or astrology and things like that. So, but I have a few TimeBlazr employed clients as well. Anyway, that's how you would use the yin and yang of the chart. Okay, so my next question is, how come that many people have an empty wealth wheel and are still rich? Okay, let's go back here again. Oops, wrong one. TimeBlazr chart. And now what I would say to that is this. And I personally do have several clients that have 0 wealth element and they're doing fine. So all of your chart can make you wealth, if you will. And again, you have to remember that during certain years, like for example, if your wealth element is water, if your wealth element is wood, if your wealth element is fire or earth, you are much more supported by the water tiger, but especially water and wood. That's going to make you have more access to opportunities and things like that for money. So you can find it through the annual, but you can also come and look to see where they are able to make money down here. So remember, within each one of these 10-year destiny cycles, there's the year of the tiger, the year of the rabbit, the year of the dragon, the year of the horse, etc. And then what is the element on top? That's going to also indicate whether or not you're going to tap into, or what you're going to tap into, of one of these 5 structures. Okay. All right. So that is definitely a way that you can do that. But then there's also looking at the other areas. So one of the best ways in which you can make money is create something that people, so you would be using your creation element to make money, because you've got a product, a service, a program that people are interested in buying from you. So you're going to make your money through what you create. Okay? Another way of making money is through having your support system, your resources, sell your products and services for you. And what I mean by that is, I want you to think about, you've got a good product and service, and you've got affiliates, you've got JV partnerships, that this is a way that you can make money, is through other people. Another way that you can do it is you could be using your networks. Again, this is another way just to have, again, people to help you. And you could also be selling your competitors' products, because that actually is giving you some authenticity, that you are, maybe you're learning from this person and just saying, hey, they're a little bit higher level than I am, and you may want to check them out as well. And then you can get an affiliate link that way. And then power actually is also very good too, because that gives you some sense of visibility as a leader. So, how articulate you are in helping you along the way is going to be able to help you make money. So even though you may not have the wealth element, you can tap into the other 4 elements in your chart specifically on what they mean. And then I just went over what, water is more reflective, wood is more connecting, fire is more visibility, earth is more stability and nurturing, if you will, assets, things like that. And metal is about making decisions. So that's where you're going to want to look to see how you can best use the chart. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? This is, I think, a good question is, stop juggling everything and relax. And is there a particular day that is best for stopping and relaxing? And then I think this next question was very similar to it. What energies do you use to get unstuck or to do things that seem hard and must get done? So this one is interesting. Let me go back to the TimeBlazr, because this one I think will help us. And on this one, I'm going to go back to the month view. Oops. All right, in the month view, there's a couple of things that I would do if I was trying to get unstuck. The first thing I would do is I would go over to the search bar. This is on the bottom bar right above the blue ribbon. and I would click on search. I would look for a couple of things. I would go to the activator tab and I would put in wellness. Because sometimes, probably 90% of the time, what's holding us back is our mindset and or we're not, up to par as far as our wellness is concerned. And I'd do a search on that. And I would be looking at, we're just processing that search because remember, this is personalized. And then I would start looking at some of these days as soon as possible. There's a day that's coming up in July. This would be one day that let's just click on it and see what's there and available. Because where I'm going with this is I would go, and this is kind of far away, so I would choose another day to get started on this. But this would be a day maybe I would go get some sort of wellness treatment to improve my vitality. That would be one of the searches I would do. Now let's go back to the search tab again. Another way that you can do this is you can also look at a couple of different of the energetics. You can look at balance. Balance is just that. It brings equilibrium to you, if you will. I would also look at receive days. Receive days are you are receiving. So take it in, say yes, thank you. If you need to remove some obstacles, use a remove day. So, and even stable. Stable would be good as well. If you have a really big obstacle, you might want to use a destruction day. I'm just going to click on this one to see if we can find within this membership, if we can find a positive destruction day. And again, it depends on your level of needing to get unstuck. And kind of move forward. But here's one on August the 17th. I would click on that. And then again, here's manifest 4 days to help you get unstuck. Here's quite a bit of positive information here as well. And then some good time slots to have a conversation with somebody that can help you. Nothing wrong with making an appointment with a therapist or a counselor if that's what it takes for you to get unstuck. Now, you're going to have to, this is not a filter, but I can tell you where you can find it. Look for, during the positive influence, look for the term revitalize. If you see that in this particular box, you know that's a day that is more nurturing and that can help you as well. So, is there anything else that I would, definitely. Using the illuminate or power, but illuminate is especially for self-care. So self-care, the way I'm interpreting that question is I believe that self-care could be a good solution to helping you get unstuck. Because if you've got a monkey mind going on all the time, it's not going to help you move forward in stuff. So that's where I would use that particular energetics. So again, nothing really coming up until August the 18th. So here's another way. Now I got to refer to we're going to go back to the dates. And then really what we're going to do is we're going to go to, I have to move this screen just a little bit. We're going to go back to the astrology, and I'm going to tell you how you can find this in the astrology, because we looked at the activators, we looked at the manifest 4. Here's another area of your chart that can help you get unstuck, is literally being in your vitality direction would be in facing it. You'd be facing that. And then the other would be confidence, because sometimes your obstacle may be due to lack of confidence. So this is where I would use that to help you along the way, is facing that direction. If you're in the sector and you're facing it, that can help you as well. My last tip would be coming over to where you see mentors, and there's two animals there. One way would be finding somebody else because you need external help. You're gonna find somebody with a rat or a monkey in their chart, and or go ahead and use these directions. Now you do have to understand that there's annual influences. This is a static chart. That's why it's important to maybe do a personal reading, but this is a static chart that will not reflect, oh, there's annual energies that the Southwest in 2022 is a little bit unstable, quite a bit unstable. So do be careful about your usage in but there are definitely months that it's usable. For example, next month it's actually in the month of July. It's got actually some good energetics there that you can be using. Okay? All right, so that's a lot of information there. Let me see if I had any other questions here. No, but I do want to weave back to one of the contest rules, and that is that you do need to definitely purchase the TimeBlazr software if you want to be able to win the contest tomorrow. And we also have an app. Now the app is in beta, so you're going to want to definitely give us some feedback. We always are open to your feedback, and each and every year we get better and better at this, and I'm very proud of where we're at today. And there's some more good things coming, that's for sure. So let me see if there's any other comments that I need to address before we sign off for today. Again, thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. Let's see. Nope, I think we're good. I think we've got everything, but let me just go back to the top to see if there's anything I missed. Hi, Joanna. Okay, I think we got it. All right, you guys, I am going to bid you a farewell for today. Remember, tomorrow, bring a 20 to 30 minute project that you can complete in that time frame. So we're going to have a rapid speed success tomorrow. So be ready to tell me what it is, what you're working on, and then we're going to kind of do a countdown to see if we can get something accomplished in real time tomorrow using the TimeBlazr. Okay, everyone, have a great rest of your day, evening, morning, wherever you're located. Thanks so much. Be well. See you tomorrow, and may good chi follow in whatever you do. Bye-bye.